All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order a couple minutes early, but if you're not early, you're late. I'll make a motion to approve the January minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Board member comments. I am going to start. I want to welcome our new general manager, Mr. Carnes, to his first official meeting. You have big shoes to fill with Carla and Dale, but Loudon Water's in a great position. And I think we have the strongest board I think I've ever seen. And I think you're surrounded with excellent staff. So everything looks good. Just don't mess it up. I mean, I'm sure there'll be bumps along the road, but I think with staff and with the board, I think the team that's assembled, I think it'll be great. So wish you well. Look forward to the future.
Thank you.
Fairfax County Water Symposium. I don't know if anyone signed up for that, but that's the deadline for that is March 22nd, and it's April 4th is the date. So if you're want to learn more about water, I highly recommend that. And then the board retreat. I don't know if we have talked about that yet. Last year it was May 1st.
Yes,
Which
we
is
have,
rapidly approaching.
we have
So
started internal discussions and we're planning to combine it with the grand opening of the Beaver Dam
Gotcha.
Reservoir Park.
gotcha. I wanted to try to get a date out there as soon as we can because that time of year, people's calendar fills up quickly as school ends and things like that. Okay. That's all I have. Mr. Sultan.
Just like to wish Brian the best. I think we have a good general manager, and like you say, there could be bumps in the road, but I have a feeling you'll get over it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Sultan. Mr. Kelly.
Same for me. Welcome, Brian. Any support, help, questions? We're here to help.
Thank you.
Wish you well on your next journey. Interesting, my CEO of our company sent me a Bloomberg article yesterday, and it was about PFAS. So word is getting around about utilities having to gear up to put new regulations coming. So yeah, we're on it. So word is getting around. So I'm going to send him some more information so he can spread the word as well. He lives in Maryland. So. Cool.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Kelly.
you.
Share that with us if you get the chance.
Yeah.
Or share it with
I
us.
will.
Staff, they can share it with us. Mr. Campbell,
No comments from me.
none? All right. Mr. Yudd.
Thank you, Chair Allen. Similar comments of congratulations to Brian, and I just want to say, since our last meeting, I guess since our CIP and Finance Committee meeting in February, I did have a chance to meet with the staff and talk about a couple issues, one of which is on our agenda a little bit later, and also another issue to reach out to Brian and get some input and direction on that was involving a customer, how they were getting their service and time frame and information about scope of work. Very, very responsive and helpful. And I think that's a good thing because our customers rely on us, and those are our business customers and our residential customers. So all good. And thank you, Brian, and thank you to the staff for all of your good work.
Thank you, Mr. Yudd. Mr. Buffington.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just another round of congratulations for Brian and another thank you to all of our staff. So thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Mr. Vega.
Likewise, for the last person that's here in person, the last round of congratulations and welcome aboard, and I look forward to working with you. Feel free to reach out for whatever you need.
Thank you, Mr. Vega. Mr. Bonfils.
Yes, welcome to Brian, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person today. Stuck in meetings all week, long, busy week, as many people have mentioned. I will be attending on April 4th, the Fairfax Water meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Bonfils. Mr. Moody.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Brian, I'd like to echo everyone's sentiments. Looking forward to working with you in this coming year.
Thank you, Mr. Moody. Next item, general manager's comments. Mr. Carnes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, members of the board. I very much appreciate the kind words and sentiments. I'm really excited for this opportunity, so thank you very much. A few notes for you today. Belated congratulations and thanks to the engineers at Loudon Water. Virginia's Governor Youngkin issued a proclamation declaring the week of February 19th through 25th as Engineers Week in recognition of engineers' contributions to the world, the nation, and the Commonwealth of Virginia. So please join me in thanking our engineers for everything that they do for us. March is also National Purchasing Month. The procurement team has a great responsibility and plays a significant role at Loudon Water. So thank you to the purchasing team and everything that they do. March is also designated as Women's History Month, a time to celebrate the contributions that women have made and continue to make to our society. So I just wanted to give a shout out to all the amazing women who work at Loudon Water. You make a difference every day, and we appreciate everything that you do. On February 13th, we provided our annual update to the Loudoun County Board of Supervisors, focusing on our financial position, major initiatives, outreach and education efforts, and collaborative work with the county. We received very complimentary feedback and appreciation for the update. The ICPRB kicked off the 2025 Washington Metro Area Water Supply Forecast on February 27th. Loudon Water staff participated in the kickoff meeting and will participate in the process of information sharing and review of the report. This process will take place throughout 2024. Just as Mr. Allen mentioned, the Fairfax Water Drinking Water Summit is on Thursday, April 4th. If you need a copy of the invitation, reach out to Jewel and she can forward that to you. On March 20th, several Loudon Water staff will participate as judges in the 42nd Loudoun County Regional Science and Engineering Fair at John Champ High School. This annual event involves more than 300 students from Loudoun County high schools. Our judges will serve as panelists on the environmental sciences, environmental engineering, and microbiology categories. On March 21st, Loudon Water staff will be participating in the National Capital Region Water Supply Tabletop Exercise. This exercise will provide the opportunity for regional participants to engage in open discussions regarding collaboration and coordination between public and private sector partners, incident response protocols, and resilience and recovery in the event of a water supply emergency. Just a few stats, ERCs through February totaled 708. And just a reminder, for the year, we budgeted 2,645. And then your first audit committee meeting will be Friday, March 22nd at 8 a.m. And then the CIP and Finance Committee meetings for this month have been canceled. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
A second.
All those in favor? Board committee actions, CIP, Mr. Sultan.
You remember my name? I'll try to make this as quick as possible. The first three items that we have are all tied to the capacity analysis of the 600 zone system. One result was the need to boost the South Water Booster pumping station with a new pump and various other station improvements. The project was bid on December 14th with 4 bids received. The CIP committee recommended the award of construction contract to WGK Construction, the lowest responsible bidder, for $2,232,000 with an approximate 5% contingency to be controlled by the GM for a total authorized budget of $2,350,000. The committee forwarded the action to the board consent agenda. Connected with that is the construction administration for that project. Staff has recommended Hazen and Sawyer, the design engineer of record for the pump station upgrade for this task, for a total amount not to exceed $232,000. The committee forwarded this item to the March 14th board consent agenda for $232,000 with an approximate 5% contingency to be controlled by the general manager for a total authorized budget of $244,000. The next item is also connected to the capacity analysis, and that's the award of a construction contract for a water main, a 600 zone water main. Because the project area overlaps the Loudoun County Roundabout Design Build project, the only way to build a lane is to utilize the county's design build contractor, Shirley Contracting. CIP committee forwarded award of the construction to Shirley Contracting for $1,511,573 with an approximate 5% contingency to be controlled by the general manager for a total authorized budget of $1,590,000. This item is to be included on the March 14th consent agenda. The last item is approval of professional engineering service contract for the lead service line inventory support. The latest version of the lead and copper rule requires all systems to identify the materials on both the utility owner side and customer owned side of each service line in the distribution system. The proposed contract is for professional engineering services to help Loudoun Water achieve a non-lead designation through VDH in a cost-effective and efficient manner. CIP committee forwarded this item to the March 14th board consent agenda for a reward of a professional engineering service contract to CDM Smith for $131,253 with an approximate 5% contingency to be controlled by the GM for a total authorized budget of $137,815. The next item was the capital construction quarterly report. And as usual, you have to give good item to our construction people for the excellent manner in which they handle construction contracts. As I've said before, when I had construction, we never achieved levels that these guys do. The next thing was a capital spending monthly report, and the spending through January was slightly over projected. Last thing was the CIP committee 2024 work plan. It was a massive document, and I'm hoping to get some information later in the year to see how close they stick to it, just for information purposes. And we had a closed meeting to discuss the Dominion Energy easement requests on Loudoun Water campus, and that is the meeting. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Sultan. Finance Committee, Eric Kelly. Thank you, Chairman.
Button push there. We had our first meeting, and you can tell just one month into the year, not too much going on, but we are ahead of forecast in operating revenues, non-operating revenues, and operating expenses. So all looks good so far. One month in. Already talked about the capital spending plan, but it totals about $148 million, of which $4.2 million has been spent through January, and of that, 4.2 million, 2.8 million was funded by user rates. The 1.4 million was funded by availability charges. We did, it was investment review by Brian, and total cash equivalents and investments were a little over 349 million, and the weighted average yield was 3.17%. Brian and I remember when that was a zero in front of that for a long time. So good job on that, and that's more to come on that. Brian also provided a quarterly investment review, and that looks good. And the finance committee work plan was also reviewed by the committee. We also went into closed session to discuss the same item that Marty just mentioned. That's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. The consent agenda, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
The consent agenda has been approved. Public hearing. We're into the public hearing portion of the meeting. I guess we're gonna have a presentation by Amelia Fidel. I assume, John, do you have anything that we need to add before we start that presentation? Okay.
Good. Oops.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and the board members. My name is Amulya Paudel, Program Manager with Capital Programs Group. I'm here today to make a public hearing presentation for the proposed acquisition of easements on the property owned by the unknown heirs of Thomas R. Keith. So this easement is for the project in our central system. In the central system, Loudon Water operates the wastewater water system with 3 distinct pressure zones, 510, 538, and 600. This project is in the 600 zone in the Lena area along Route 50. So the water main we plan to install in this easement will help improve the operational capabilities of 600 zone. The exhibit in the middle, as you can see, with the growth in the area, we've been adding, the solid blue line represents water transmission mains. The solid blue lines represent water transmission mains. And as the area has grown, we've added transmission mains in the area. As you can see in this red circle here, there is a gap in the transmission main. We are now at a point where the hydraulic analysis of the system indicates that we need to close that gap to maintain the reliability and meet the growing demand of the 600 zone. The exhibit to the right here, so there is a lot of development going on in the area, and developers will be adding some transmission main to kind of close the gap, but that will still leave us with the blue in this exhibit here, the blue line, that is the CIP project that we will be moving forward to close the gap. And this is the project that you just approved with the consent agenda. In that same area, the county has, and this will be the exhibit to the left. The county in that same area, same intersection, the county has an ongoing design build project that will install a roundabout and do some road widening and road improvement. So just an overview of the project area. So now getting into the issue and why we are here for this public hearing meeting is Lena Farm Lane, this strip of road that kind of goes north from Route 50. Both the county and Loudon Water, based on the available information, we understood this to be a prescriptive easement, and we were proposing a water line along that road. So when the utilities are in prescriptive roadway easement or right of way, we do not. We just work that out with VDOT with permit. We do not get easements, and so we never planned on getting easement for that line. As part of county project, the county needed to widen the right of way in that same area. And while the county was going through the land acquisition process, they determined that the road that was understood to be prescriptive easement did not qualify as prescriptive easement. And with that determination, the county moved forward with trying to, with 100+ years of title search, the county determined that that strip of land belonged to the person by the name Thomas R. Keith. The county conducted genealogical research and pretty long effort to find the rightful heirs of Thomas Keith. But when they were unsuccessful in locating the owner, the county proceeded with condemnation process, and the county ended up, even though this road is ultimately in county's 2040 countywide transportation plan, the county only condemned the portion that they needed for the immediate roundabout project. So the county's condemnation kind of stopped here. The red section of water line here to the top of this exhibit, that will be a line that the developer will install for us. So so we already have an easement recorded for this main. So where this left with us is approximately 140 feet of water line in between. We need easement from this property that was recently. So this happened like end of December. So this is fairly recent. So we need easement for our water line in that to install this water line. This is a plat that we intend to use to move forward with this condemnation. The county's portion has already been recorded. For the portion, for that 140 feet strip that we need easement for our water line, this is a situation of an unknown owner, so there is no easement negotiation involved here. This is a public hearing to begin the condemnation process. Once the board formally adopts this resolution, the council will move forward with recording the certificate of take with the circuit court. We've decided to use the county's basic administrative report to calculate the value of the land, which adds up to $303. So we will deposit that amount in with the circuit court, and we move forward with condemnation. So I know this is my last slide before, if any questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, okay. So it's just this land of this deceased individual who apparently has no heirs. That's the only bit of land that we're seeking to acquire here by condemnation?
Yes, that 140 feet strip of, which we understood to be 20 feet wide road. Yeah, that's the only piece we're acquiring with this process.
Okay. And the area that we're condemning is 20 feet? How big is this area?
It's 20 feet wide strip of road. So we're taking it from where the county stopped to where we need. So it's 140 feet long strip of land.
Okay, 20 feet wide, 140 feet long.
Yes.
And other than this one strip of land, we're comfortable that between the county right of way and the other easements that we have sufficient area to operate within?
There is this property that it has not yet been recorded, but we've already reached an agreement with the owner. So in the next couple of weeks, we will be recording the deed with the court here. So it's already been negotiated with the owner.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, everything else in this project will be within the right of way.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Thank you.
So the staff recommends that the board adopt a resolution to affirm the proposed public use for the project and authorize and direct acquisition of the easement by condemnation on the property owned by unknown heirs of Thomas Keith. After this is a public comment, and then the council will bring this formal resolution for board's consideration.
Is there any way we can
Thank
enlarge
you.
that on the screen? Just so someone wants to give it a quick read. And then in the way you're working on it, Jewel. And then while he's doing that, Jewel, has anyone signed up to speak during the public comment period? Okay, thank you. So John, do you want anything we need to know about the resolution?
This is your form resolution that we've used in the past. It's straightforward. The process following this, it's a small amount, but statutorily, once you file the certificate of take, assuming the board approves the resolution, the money will be deposited. Unfortunately, you have to, even with that just $303, within 6 months, we'll have to file an action with the circuit court and publish notice. Because it's unknown heirs, we'll do that. And if anybody wants to lay claim to it, they can, but the court will, you'll have the opportunity to enter construct your improvements once you file the certificate of take. The cost of perfecting these rights will be more than it's worth, but statutorily, we need to adopt the resolution and move forward in that way.
Okay, thank you. So is there any way we can get the the motion to adopt the resolution on the board so someone can read it? I don't have my laptop with me. It's in the,
It's in the package.
Resolution, to adopt the resolution.
Condemnation.
so we don't have to actually read.
No.
Can we put it up though so people can see it? Just so they
Mr.
know.
Chairman, I have it pulled up. You want me to read it?
Pardon me?
You want me to read it? I have it pulled up.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board adopt a resolution to affirm the proposed public use for the project and authorize and direct acquisition of the easements by condemnation of the property owned by the unknown heirs of Thomas R. Keith. Loudon Water Council will present the formal resolution for the board's consideration.
Someone second that?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution is adopted.
Aye.
New business, none. On to monthly reports. The finance summary monthly report. Is Sally here? Does anyone have any questions? I know you mentioned 750. There was only 150 in January, right? So how many? So we had a lot in February.
Yeah, we added 380 data center ERCs. Yep.
Water resource management report. I saw we're all in the green, which is good news. Does anyone have any questions? Green is good. And then the water and sewer agreements by Mr. Tran. Does anyone have any questions on those? All right, on to
Brief question,
Okay.
Chair. I think it's an important point just for the incoming members to understand that those agreements, approval for those have been assigned to Brian as the general manager as administrative step. And if there was any action by the board, then I think, at least in my case, I might have 2 instances of a disclosure. So I just need that clarification. Maybe that goes to Brian or to Mr. Wilburn. There's no action by the board. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
thank you.
correct. Yeah, that authority has been delegated by the board to the general manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that
You're welcome.
clarification.
Thank you for that, Mr. Yudd. Quarterly reports, the BOA report. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Lipinski? Right, capital construction report. Mr. Zafel and Mr. Flores, anyone have any questions for them? All right. Land develop monthly activity. We are reading these reports, right? All right.
Fortunately, they're all good.
Yes. They're good.
Operations and maintenance. Does anyone have anything for Kendra? And then safety results for Mr. Shunta. I know there's nothing on that except the bee sting. That looks great. Only 3 incidents all year. That's fantastic. All right, we blew through the quarterly reports. Closed meeting coming up. So I have it here. Thank you,
There it
everybody.
is.
So I'm gonna make a motion to enter the closed meeting. Someone second it. Now I gotta read the
I'll second it.
certification. Thank you. Pursuant to section 22311 of the Code of Virginia, I move that the board of this authority enter into a closed meeting. The authority of this closed meeting is found in section 223711 subsection 3 as to the following items to be discussed. Dominion Energy easement request on Loudon Water campus. The authority for this closed meeting is found in section 22 subsection 7 and 8. And the following items will also be discussed: class action settlement and national PFAS aqueous film forming foams product liability litigation. In accordance with 223712F, Chris Pomeroy, president of Aquila, will attend the closed session to provide legal advice and otherwise aid the board in its consideration of the PFAS litigation item.
Mr. Allen, if you would give the staff a few moments, and I ask that Mr. Bonfils, Mr. Moody, and Mr. Pomeroy exit this meeting and join the closed meeting invite that was sent earlier.
Will
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will do. Thank you, Jewel.
Extra points to the first one who gets in.